Hey, today I'm going to talk about 7 of some of my favorite PC cards, including my son's favorite card at the very end, so stay tuned for that. And at the very end, I've got kind of a plea to viewers, something to consider. Stay tuned. Hello to all my sports card collectors, investors, all of my collectibles friends. How are you doing? We have made it to the end of the week. We are to the weekend. It is almost hot tub time for me. That's usually how my wife and I end the week. We just have to relax. It's always so long. We have made it. Thank you very much for joining. Please subscribe if you have not already. We are coming out with just about daily sports card and collectibles content, and we will continue on, guys. We will keep on keeping on. Please connect with me on Instagram at SportsCardDad, as well as Twitter, the SportsCardDad. All right, let's dig into some PC cards. And there's a little bit of variety, but you'll see a little bit of a pattern as well. The first card we're going to go over is one of the few baseball cards that I own, but one that I really love. And I like these playoff, kind of these Donruss playoff cards from 2006, 2007. This is a Nolan Ryan inscribed auto. This is the game where Bo Jackson hit a ball that I believe it hit Nolan Ryan right in the face. And he's bleeding, essentially, finishes the game. Nolan Ryan, talk about an absolute Iron Man. He does have a lot of autos, so this is not as if it's rare to find Nolan Ryan autograph cards, and this is one of the, the pack pulled style. It's not, he didn't sign it after the fact. This did come in packs. It is numbered to 50, but all in all, just a really cool card. I was happy to find it, and I always like the inscribed stuff where he's got how many strikeouts that he has. It's just cool. So this is one of my kind of long-time holds for a legendary player in Nolan Ryan. I'll try to get a little bit closer before I take it away. All right, I made a video where I was talking about picking up some new NASCAR cards. Now, I don't have a zillion NASCAR cards, but one thing I did find is just value in terms of, price point for what I could get. And one driver that I looked at that I feel like is an important driver over time, we talk about the GOATs, whether it be Richard Petty or Jimmy Johnson or Dale Earnhardt Sr., but another important driver just as far as historical purposes is Danica Patrick. And I just really like the look of this card in particular. This card was less than $150, graded by BGS with a 10 auto. It is a select gold prism, and it's numbered out of 10. And you might be thinking like, well, so what? Select. How many years of select are there? Well, in NASCAR, there's only 1 year of select product, 2017. 2017 is the only year of select product, and I like select cards. So this was kind of an easy one for me to pick up, I felt like. And then also Danica has a really strong auto. Like, she's got a great autograph. It's just Danica, but it's done well. It's not the initials like D, P, whatever, like some of the autos that we see out there. Richard Petty has a great auto as well. So nice auto. It's on card. It's gold out of 10. It's graded 10. It's all the checks, and it's fairly reasonably priced. So this is one that, I thought it'd be cool to have, and I plan on holding on to it for a long time. The next card is of the man that has stopped Tom Brady from having 9 rings all by himself. It's Archie Manning. Archie Manning, rookie card, 1972 Topps, PSA 6. And you might be thinking, like, who cares? This is Archie Manning. This is like not really that big of a deal. But as a diehard New Orleans Saints fan, I am a big Archie Manning fan. Of course, it's Peyton Manning and Eli Manning's dad. That's the reference to Tom Brady losing out on 2 more rings because of Eli. It's Eli. And Peyton battled him in the AFC as well. So, and then his grandson, Arch, is coming up. Arch, I think he's going to be a senior in a couple of years, but look out for the hype behind Arch Manning. If you think Trevor Lawrence had a lot of hype coming out, Arch Manning is going to have some serious hype here in a couple of years. This is literally a $30, $40, maybe a $50 card, this card in particular, but I love this set. I love 71 and 72 Topps football, also like it on the basketball side as well. But there's a lot of these types of players, just all-time greats, that mid-grade stuff that you can get at reasonable prices. Archie's one of my all-time favorites. He was the best quarterback for the Saints before Drew Brees got there. So much respect to Archie Manning. All right, next up, the all-time sack leader, Bruce Smith, 1986 Topps in a PSA 9. Another really affordable card in mint condition is this Bruce Smith rookie card. Of course, you know, these are tough with centering. You can see, like with the Jerry Rice rookie card, it is tough to get a 9, especially a 10 for this particular set. With all the design does not make it easy with between the centering and the edges and everything else, the corners. Bruce Smith is the all-time sack leader, and nobody else is really close. So there's nobody that's really coming up close to Bruce Smith. No one talks about him. He doesn't really get a lot of fanfare, but I would like to actually pick up a few more copies of this card because they are fairly available. It's not as if it's a mega rare card. I also have a binder, a complete set of 86 Topps with this card raw in it. But just really appreciative of Bruce Smith as a player. Watching him when I was younger, he was just an absolute beast. Lawrence Taylor, Bruce Smith, Reggie White, these were guys that just, you know, wrecked the field. So I like this particular card and I will hold on to it. And like I said, I'd like to have a few of these in case I do want to sell one down the line. All right, next up, I pulled out my favorite Tom Brady rookie card that I own. And honestly, I've looked at a lot of different ones and tried to figure out, which ones I like, which ones I don't like. And I also have a copy of the metal rookie card that I would say is second to this one. But this is the Upper Deck rookie card for him. It's in a BGS 8.5, and I really, really like the blue bordering on this card. And I understand that he's kind of in his practice uni, but just kind of that color match with the blue Upper Deck card, this is my favorite rookie card that he's got. And I know he's got more expensive ones and everything else, but, and not to say there's not some amazing, autos and different types of rookie cards that are really cool for Tom Brady. But if we're just talking about kind of, I guess, the base lineup, if you're looking across the, all the different options for like his base rookie cards, the blue one with kind of the color match and the bordering is just awesome. So I've actually got a PSA 8 of this as well. I might actually, if depending on how pricing looks, if there is ever kind of a dip for that particular card, I might actually pick up more of those just to kind of sit back and hold those. But again, in case I do want to sell one or two of them, I'd like to have them in bunches if possible. All right, my last card that I'm going to talk about today is, before I talk about my son's favorite card actually, is a Marvel card that I recently picked up. And I didn't realize how cool this card was until I got it in hand. And you might be wondering, like, what is this? So it's a 2016 Upper Deck annual set. It's out of that set. It's one of one. So the one of ones, it's a sketch card. A lot of sketch cards in Marvel sets, and some of them I'm just kind of like, it's another sketch card, blah, blah, blah. But this is kind of cool because it's like plexiglass sketch card. It's a one of one signed on the back. You can see the artist kind of wrote his name here. So it's kind of unique, but there's a checklist of maybe 20 of these cards. I can't remember exactly, but it's 1 out of 1,576 packs to get one of these. And I got this one for $100, and I've gotten some of these at the $40, $50, $60 range. And I'm trying to collect the set if possible. There's like the Venom one is very expensive. So I don't know if I'm going to be able to get that one, but just actually getting this in hand though, it's a thick card because it's almost like plexiglass. The way that it is, and then the artist actually drew on it. It's kind of amazing. So, the artwork is unique. It's one of those sets, of course, all you hear about is Marvel PMGs. And so once I started to really dig into different sets and which cards are rare, which inserts are rare, I happened upon these particular inserts. And these are the most rare of the cards out of that 2016 Upper Deck annual set. And when you try to find boxes of it, not very easy to find boxes. If you're going to, even if you want to open a hobby box of it, I found one for like $300. So I just don't know. I mean, it's not easy to find. It looks like they opened, a lot of it was already opened up. And the reason why is because I've seen a lot of these 101s around, and I've just bought as many as I can because they're fairly inexpensive. I've gotten some at $30, $35, and these are 1 out of more than 1,500 packs, and kind of cool, kind of unique. I'll show you. I also have the Hulk version, which I don't like the Hulk version as much as I like the Doctor Strange, but it gives you an idea though. It's the same sort of deal. Another thing that's confusing is there's sketch cards in this box, in this particular set, that are far less rare, but they look very similar, but they're not the plexiglass 101, and they don't have an auto on the back. So it's a little confusing, and maybe that's why these kind of slipped through the radar, just because people didn't know exactly what it was. They didn't realize that these sketch cards, a little bit more common, these sketch cards are one of ones and really tough to find. All right, lastly, I'm going to talk about my son's favorite card. He happens to be into Pokemon right now, Mewtwo. He wanted me to talk about Mewtwo. And this is kind of a cool, shiny card that he's got, and he likes to kind of organize his stuff. If you are new to my channel, you might not know, but I've talked about it before. My youngest son, my 7-year-old, has autism. And so at the end of the video, I said that I would have kind of a plea to my audience and a plea to viewership, because I want to talk about a real life subject that we're dealing with, and also something I just wanted to share. I've got, a little bit of a platform here, and sometimes it's good to mix in real life stuff. So, but I won't take too much of your time. It's not going to be a 20-minute, rant about this, that, or whatever. But I wanted to bring your attention to an underserved, kind of an untapped market for talent. So if you're in a hiring position, if you're a hiring leader or you're close to hiring leaders, talent acquisition, etc., within your company, there are a lot of neurodiverse folks that are either unemployed or underemployed. I mean, we see it all the time where you have folks that have, CPAs, they've got master's degrees, they're working jobs that are not in their particular profession. And the reason why they're having to do that is because we know that, the interview process can be daunting. And when you have, neurodiverse people that are just trying to figure out how to get through those interviews and trying to figure out the best way to talk in an interview and the best way to, convey their thoughts and everything, and trying to, that can be very daunting for anybody, let alone neurodiverse people. So there is a lot of untapped talent out there. I wanted to bring it to your attention. My son will be one of those people eventually. He is the brain of the family. He's the Professor X of our family, if you will. A very powerful brain, and so we're trying to figure out kind of the best way to guide him. He's got some tremendous skill that he's going to continue to cultivate as he gets older, and we just hope that we can kind of put him on the right path. And I just think about, he fortunately has resources. He has a support system around him to help him through his journey, and there's a lot of people that do not. So please keep that in mind. Like I said, if you happen to be in some sort of hiring position, or you know someone you're close to, your hiring leaders, there is, like I said, untapped talent, neurodiverse talent. It's not talked about in society, really. It's not really a focus. And I would like to make it more of a focus. And so that's something my wife and I are working on. It is something that we will probably always be working on. Now we've become a lot more educated on this, and it's something that has become a passion project, for us. So any way we can get the word out. If you have any questions, feel free to reach out to me on this, but I'll do anything I can to try to answer your questions, but just something to be aware of. And again, guys, I hope that you are having an amazing week. We've got the weekend in front of us, so stay healthy, stay awesome, and I will talk to you again later.